Yes, gentlemen, welcome to Escaping the System question and answer section with Myles Lawson.
Okay. So our question number one for today. What's your idea on modern dating?
Modern dating.
Yes, sir.
I'll say modern dating has become something like more of a laughing stock now because the way that people ideally have this mindset of a date, they plan big, they go all in, they go big, and all of this stuff. I think dating in of itself should be very simple. Why I think it should be very simple is because if a man approaches a woman, the next thing there is for him to invite her into his world, right? So it's a time for him to actually see if she fits in into his ideal plans on a long-term basis. So this is the whole purpose of a date. This is the whole purpose of going out on a date, right? But now we don't really have that. We have so many ideologies behind the modern dating now, where a guy meets a girl, invites her over for a date. She carry her friend, follow body. She orders all these expensive things, or she even says that if you're not going to take me to an expensive place, or she even decide that you're going to like take her to an expensive place for a first date, or even a dinner date. But no, listen to me, gentlemen. If you're going to have to go out on a date, if you see a girl that you like and you want to take her out on a date, it should be simple. It should be casual. It should be things that you, as a man, have been doing on your own without any girl or without anybody. These are the things that you love innately, that you, on a daily basis, that you've been doing. So you're inviting her to see how your daily lifestyle works, right? So as you invite her, the best thing you can do, because you invite someone, to come see your sanctuary or to come see what you do, is to at least, get her a drink or maybe buy something out of your goodwill, right? They compose it, but it's ideal. It makes a lot of sense if you actually go out of your way, and because she came out, right? She respected your invite and came out, so you have to you know, treat her well on the date, right? So the whole ideal process of a date is for you to bring her into your world, introduce her into the things that you have going on in your life, and see if she fits into it on a long-term basis, right?
So that's it. Our next question. Should women handle leadership positions in the country?
The answer is no. I think women should not be allowed to handle any leadership position in any country. In any country. I'll ask you a question now. Who is the vice governor of this state? You're gonna think it. Me self, I don't even know her name, right? Because I don't care. And nothing she don't do. You get every leadership position that a woman occupies shows that it is a man out of pity, out of making no be like saying now only men they do this stuff, make woman do am. Back then when we were in school, when they were to do this SUG election, right? The SUG president has to be a male. Then the vice president, automatically, they need to drag that slot. They need to drag that slot. You just leave it for females. Because females have this idea that whatever a man is doing, that they want to join. And I'm like, no, it's not supposed to be like that. You were not designed to do the things that we do. You were designed to do something entirely different from what we do. And we as men will respect you for that which you do, because we cannot do it. Because if you check, a man respects what he cannot do. Unlike women. Women don't respect what they cannot do. For example, men built the roads. Men built the cars, the houses. And all of this is hard stuff that blue collar men do. Other men can see that and respect that. But women don't respect. They just need to learn how to use those things. So why should you put a woman in a leadership position? What's she going to do when she was designed by God to follow the leadership of a man? And you think putting her in a leadership position is going to set the country or the parastatal where she's leading on a good sail? You're heading for the rocks, my friend. If a country decides to do that, they are heading for the rocks.
Wow. Um, so I have another question. How about if a woman is the breadwinner in the family, does that make her sit at the head of the table?
Oh man, a woman being the breadwinner of a family is something that doesn't sit well with me, right? I feel men should always be the breadwinner of the family because it is men who have the task at hand to be responsible in doing those things. It is the duty of a man to be the provider for his household. So even the Bible said that any man that could not provide is worse than an infidel. So why should a man sit there and allow the women or the woman become the breadwinner of the table, which automatically want to give her the right to sit in the head of the table? But anyway, we as men, we don't really give a shit about a woman's money. I mean, if you really understand what I'm saying or where I'm coming from, you understand that women, we don't really care, we don't really send. Whether a woman is a millionaire, a billionaire, it's none of our business, right? We'll still tell her what to do, and she's going to do it. You get? So, all of this male woman sit down for the head of the table because she's the breadwinner of the family. It's coming out of a place of, out of a place of pity, right? Because let's look at it like this. Naturally, when a man gets married to a woman, he has responsibility over that woman. He has to guide her, he has to lead her, he has to protect her, he has to provide for her. It is his responsibility to do all of those things. But when a woman gets money, what does she do? She becomes an independent woman. She only thinks about herself and about the things that concern her. She neglects the whole purpose of what she should do. But when a man gets the money, the man becomes the big daddy. Right? So I do not believe a woman having money allows her or gives her the right to sit in the head of the table. A man can even be broke, right? And still sit at the head of the table because he's the man. He was born for this. He was born to lead. No matter what the woman have, consign her. With your money, we'll still give you directions, we'll still give you authority, we'll still lead you, we'll still tell you what to do. And this is why I don't agree with the concept of, I know a lot of people are going to come and attack me and come for my head, but I don't really care. Why are you giving women land? Where did they want to carry the land to? Build the house and what? And what? Doesn't make any sense. If you give the men the land, the men will still marry these women and put in the house. So why are you giving the women land to use and do what? It doesn't make any sense to me. It doesn't make any sense to me. I just feel it's a result of a poverty mentality that has caused this to come into our society now. So I do not agree a woman should sit at the head of the table despite her having a couple of cash.
Wow. Next question. Final question for today.
All right.
You've already said something about it. So the question is, what do you think of the idea of an independent woman?
I think the independent woman concept was brought out of this feminism stuff. Feminism is a cancer. Feminism crept into our society insidiously out of the result of saying, women have the right to do this, women need to do that, women need to do blah 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 and all of this bullshit. So I'll ask you a question. When things go south, who enforces the right or who enforces things to come back in their natural position? It is the men. Have you ever traveled on the road and there is a massive roadblock or a massive hold up? When you look outside of your window in the car, in the bus, wherever, as you travel, who do you see come out to make sure that this roadblock ends? Do you see any female there? It is we men. Because in our ideal order, we have this intrinsic value in us to create order, to create peace, to lead things into the right direction they are supposed to go. I've never seen a woman come out before and say, hey, you this motor pass like this. Not once. Feminism gets thrown out the window when things get tough. Right? So the idea of women coming to say, I'm independent, I mean, independent for what? Independent for whom? Where are you seeking the independence from who? Who was holding you in captivity before? So how would you say you're independent? If you're saying you're independent of a man, that means you don't need a man. You should settle down and die single. We can agree with you on that. But if you're actually going to need a man, erase that word come on your mouth. You get what I'm saying? So this whole I'm independent is demonic. And I believe that they don't even know what they are talking about. Because you have a couple of cash, you made some money, you did OnlyFans or you did hookup, or maybe you did crypto, or maybe all of this stuff, and you get a little bit of money, right? So you come out and say you're independent. Independent from what? You still need a man. The houses were built by men. The roads were built by men. If you need a plumber today, you won't call the woman, right? If your roof is leaking, you won't call the woman, right? So when women say we need equality, it's funny, right? And women are weasels. You're not even supposed to be listening to. Listening to women is like a bird squeaking. You don't understand the language. So it is men who have given women this right to come out and say that they are independent. Everything boils down to a man. The rise and fall of leadership starts from the man. So if the man gets it wrong, just as how they've gotten it wrong now, by putting women in leadership position and allowing women to say all of these dumb things like I'm independent and all of this bullshit, has given them the right to come out and say these things. Whereas if they were strict on the basis of you're only going to be a wife and a mother, which is ideal, right? Then we can understand. I'm not saying women can't be in leadership position. The women who can be in leadership position are just the 1%, and they are minute. So how many women can come up in this our generation and say that they are among that 1%? 1%, I'm talking about the Esthers there, the Shebas there, the Queen Elizabeth there, the Candace Owens there, the Brett Cooper there. How many women they are smart as these people currently with the values that they have in together around them? How many women can boldly say or come out with certain values as this? I was traveling, I was coming back from somewhere yesterday around my fall, and I saw a group of students wearing white and jeans, dancing, drinking. They were having their student week. They were gyrating, and majority of them were women. They were women showing breast, they pour for ground, they jubilate, having their student week. And I thought to myself, are these the women that we're going to get married to? These ones having fun on the road, displaying degenerate attitude. Are these the ones we're going to get married to? Are these the ones that are going to become long-term wife later on, 5 years from now? They were heading for the wrong. Not me. Most people are heading for the wrong. This is why I don't like female education, because it gives them this false narrative that they can do shit, meanwhile they can't do shit. except you're going to be in the 1%. And to be in that 1% is difficult. You almost need a masculine trait to do all of those things. And it's difficult. You need high testosterone. And women don't have high testosterone. So it's difficult. Rest my case.
Wow. That will be all for today. Thank you so
My
much, sir.
pleasure.